Hey, it's BK reporting live from the Cardinals Winter Warm-Up, where John Mozeliak just met with the assembled media. A few quick takeaways for you guys. Most of it was centered around Nolan Arenado. Says that priority number 1, 2, and 3 for the rest of the offseason prior to spring training is to get a deal done with Nolan Arenado. He said he was surprised when Nolan Arenado decided to nix the deal with the Houston Astros. He said that was an order of operations issue. If Kyle Tucker had been traded a few days later instead of when he was, Nolan Arenado might be a Houston Astro today. He wasn't, and Nolan Arenado is still a Cardinal accordingly. He added that the likelihood of a trade prior to the start of the regular season, he doesn't want to put odds on it, said it's a coin flip, so keep that in mind. He talks to Nolan around the holidays and hasn't really spoken to him since then. That is where they're at right now. It doesn't sound like there's anything urgently that's going to be taking place, nothing imminent. He also added that he has not talked to Nolan about expanding his trade list yet. Said that that is not something that they have yet discussed, but could be something that needs to happen in the future if a trade is ultimately what Nolan Arenado is wanting. Beyond that, discussion went into payroll. He said they don't need to make a deal. They do have a spot where they're comfortable with, and it seems as though if they had to go into the season as currently constructed, they could. It's not a requirement that they would have to trade another big deal from the books in order to get there. He also added that, yes, the Cardinals would like to add. That cannot happen until they make a deal. So if they had traded Nolan Arenado, they would likely have added something to the bullpen. Also mentioned possibility of adding a right-handed power bat. So those are some things to keep an eye on. Beyond that, he expects payroll to go back up after this decline in payroll whenever they're ready to do so. Doesn't think this is something that's going to be a long-term future. Wanted to give a clean slate to Chaim Bloom when it comes to his payroll, so that could influence the lack of extensions, things like that. And the last thing that I wanted to get to here, recapping some of what John Mozeliak had to say today. He also added that McGreevy is competing for a spot in the rotation, but it is pretty deep right now, and said he doesn't want to trade one of their veteran starters because he likes where they're at in that regard right now, likes the depth that they have. We've heard it in the past. They had 5 starters. Wasn't enough, so he doesn't want to get into that spot again. Quick recap, what we heard today from John Mozeliak. We're broadcasting live from Winter Warm-Up, where the Cardinals are meeting with the media all day long. We'll have updates on 101 ESPN's Twitter account at 101 ESPN, on Instagram as well at 101 ESPN, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Brandon Kiley, 101 ESPN, Cardinals Winter Warm-Up. Talk to you guys soon.